Hello and welcome. So I'm nice and showered. I took a nice shit. I'm back and we're gonna finish this motherfucker. This is it. This is the last stream for it because I'm finishing it. It's gonna be on the website by the end of this. I took my day off just to do this. I didn't sleep last night. I stayed up a whole night and all nighter. I'm drinking coffee right now. We're going in. If you watched the last video, I took a nice break spot. We're in the past where we're adding we're about this far into, in case you missed the last of it, adding a section review where it goes over the last section and really like in detail in a very specific way explains what the fuck is being said. For a three-parter here is a perfect time to see the system at work, because obviously you can read this, you probably already have read it at this point. You can see what comes of that. That didn't follow it at all. Alright, I'll go find him. Sometimes you gotta go research people. Which one is it? Alright, so it looks like we're talking specifically about this guy. Let's go with fucking 440 to 520. Sounds good to me. Alright, I think we got the info we need. Sometimes I gotta go and research. And then now I gotta scold it. Kind of ignored the formatting we just discussed. But I'll let slide since it's a first draft. And you gotta shame it every once in a while. So you get this shit to work right. What? No, it did it. Okay. Thought it didn't paste it. What are you pulling? I fed it to you. I fed it to you in this one. Gosh, this is why you don't take breaks. It takes like an hour for you to get back into the flow. I was in the flow zone. I should have just kept going, but I was about to shit myself. Like, honestly, and it was a terrible shit too. I'm glad I took a shower after. Alright, 440 to make sure that's kept the info right. Oh, I didn't even put it over there. Alright, let me try. Let's change this bitch out, clean it up. Gotta do each of them like 5 times, especially in the beginning. Perfect. You just keep asking it. Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet? And eventually it'll be like, yeah, I'm done. And then you'll be like, okay, good. And you can move on to the next one. And until then, I do not. What do you mean, straight line? The fuck do you mean? Formal essence. Not the full essence. Not formally. I don't know where are you reading this from? Only by its formal essence. Whatever, I'm not even gonna read it. Whatever you say, brother. And I'll be like, and then I'm gonna ask you the same question again. How do you feel about it now? What do you... Good now? Good. You see how this works. I'm glad I made a bunch of bangers. Like, listening to the same... What I got fucking... At this point, I've listened to the same soundtrack that's only 10 minutes long for hours. It's a 10-minute soundtrack I've listened to for hours, and I'm still like... From here, it's kind of eh. I'm just saying, it's... So I'm gonna restart it. Give me some of them bangers back. This is good to keep. Alright, send it up. That's all I needed to hear. What the soul does for the body to... Yeah, I like that. A change actually, though. Tell us what the soul does in relation to... Yeah, that's better. Alright, Simplicus. Send it. And because I know you fucking can't research whatsoever, I might as well just look it up before it even starts. Alright, give me Simplicus. Where the fuck is Simplicus? Where's he at? There he is. 480 to 560. Yeah, give me this, and I will fix it. Simplicus of Silica. Cecilia, Cilicia. Simplicus of Cilicia. As one rational power under different. Okay, and then I just go. Good words. I like your words, fancy speaker man. Okay. And then I go goodbye to this part. And then I go, I want to make sure I do that last one bold. Yeah, bolded. And then I grab this and I go. Improvements. Anything missing? Add. Subtract. Send it. Never clearly says reads on the soul is dealing only with the rational part. And then I'm gonna be like, is this now all inclusive? And how you like it? How we like it? How we like it? Okay, and then I come back down to this bit and I cut it back in. Cut a little bit out. Come on up here. Anything above section review up to 9. And then I go, is it good? I like when it's short enough that you can just paste the whole thing. When it's like 40 something, I don't really do that. Hey. One little thing. Alright, sure. In the closer. In the closer. Is read through the rational mind. Or slightly player. Side is read through the rational soul. On the soul is read through the rational part. I don't know if I like that better. Transactional distinction, that's the same. On the soul is read through the rational part. Intellect is one power under different aspects. The agent intellect makes potential knowledge actual, and sensation is divided between organ and soul. That doesn't make any sense. Well, treat a rational part, he also treats intellect as one rational power spoken of under different aspects. What forms the potency is called the agent intellect. When it remains in itself, it's called intellect and habit. That is why the agent intellect can be compared to art, habit, and light. It does not create intelligible species out of nothing. It makes what was only potentially intelligible actually intelligible. Just as light does not create colors but makes visible colors actually visible. Okay. I'm gonna do this, but I still feel like this doesn't explain it good enough. So I'm gonna say that. I'm just gonna break it down to just this part. Yes, I agree. It's not to cut it, it's to explain it better. So this isn't needed at all. is a final run for each one. I'm probably gonna come back for a quick pass of each one. Be like, last chance. Would you like to change anything? I'll probably say that. Does not create intelligence out of nothing. Forms for thought out of nothing. Yeah, I want... This is for novices. This is for have never read a psychological or a philosophical text in their life. That is the target audience. Like, especially, like, I was reading that first one, I got it, like, right away, but I read this type of shit a lot, because it's the type of things that interest me. It does not create intelligible... Where's that at? Is it up higher? Am I looking too low? Here it is. While I am also the target audience, I do want to be able to, like, hand this to my nephew, who's, like, 12 and has brain rot. I want him to want to read it, because it's interesting. What I've been reading, there's a lot of good stuff in here. There is some bullshit. There's some overstepping bullshit, I do agree. But a lot of it's fucking solid. A lot of it's solid as all heck. Dude wasn't just like reaching out of nowhere for this one. Alright. Now we'll do a nephew test at the end. Along will be like, anything you want to change? Anything, and anything at all. Is it nephew ready? I gotta remember to say that. Cookie only or something, but I haven't had any cookies. Okay, I believe you. That looks like it's probably real. You don't have his death days? Let me find out. Let me make sure. $150 to $211. What? $215? Where the fuck should you get $215 from? I believe Google better. Where I say 211. Or just leave it, it's close enough. Was a Greek commenter on Aristotle. Pico cites him here for positions on the soul. Alright, just give it to me, and then I'll be like, what do you think? Did you miss anything? Wow. spitting out way better than it was, though. That's really close. Anything missed? I don't even think it did. That was a way better one. It felt solid coming out. But it always finds something. Even if there's nothing there. Almost nothing important is missed. Okay, so it wants me to come in. Conclusion 6. And it's saying number 6 might need changed, which I can double check. Wait. I'm gonna use what I have. And I'm gonna use... Fuck, what am I even on? Alexander. Alright. Now I'm on number 6. And what I'm gonna do with that, I'm gonna get the translate version. And I'm gonna put this version. Translate version 2. Look at it. The years of dedication. I'm thinking. So my Final Cut version would be your... Also, I didn't sleep last night. Coffee. We'll get through it, don't you worry. Yeah, this is definitely a video to watch it like 12 times, whatever the max speed button is. You're hearing me as a squirrel right now. Luckily, I talk slow. Oh, Alexander. All right, that looks good. Well, yeah. I'm just gonna. I don't know. I'm gonna hit it one more time. I'm gonna go the whole thing. Some tells me it's gonna find something. I don't know. Right? Is that what you wanted? Right? I like to keep it on its toes. Alright. Yeah, it's done. I'm not doing that. It's going to 5. Yeah. 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 We're almost to the halfway point. Oh, I hit delete. Shit. Delete. Fine. Themistus. Oh, Themistus. Place of the science of the soul between natural and divine sciences. It stands in the middle because the soul is not just a bodily thing, but it is not treated as simply divine either. The last two conclusions tighten logic, besides Aristotle's two usual kinds of demonstration. Themistus adds a third, when one property is proved through another property that matches it exactly. It's solid. It's definitely solid. I'll put it here. Grab the whole thing. Yep. Put her there. Bend it. I'll keep the style intact, he says. Suggest minimal tweaks, very close. Covers all the points. I would keep this version. Says it covers it all. Oh, well, all I did was copy paste. It should be able to see it still. Alright. Many intellects receive light, and many participated agent intellects both give and receive it, but one agent intellect only illuminates. That purely illuminating intellect is one. Pico then links it to what Kabbalah calls Metatron. Megatron! Oh, they got Megatron in the lore now. Optimus Prime's next. He also places the science of the soul between natural and divine sciences. It stands in the middle because the soul is not just a bodily thing, but it is not treated as a simply divine either. Okay, it's a little both. It's the in between. It's the jelly. It's the goop. The last two conclusions tighten logic, besides Aristotle's two usual kinds of demonstration. When one property is proved through another property that always goes with it, and a proposition is per se, when subject and predicate belong together by what they are. What? I'm just gonna be like, what? Between natural and divine sciences, it stands in the middle because the soul is not just a bodily thing. The proposition is per se when subject and predicate belong together. This section illuminates, that's good. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hit it with the what on that one. When one property is proved through another property, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. You can prove one feature of a thing by using another feature that always belongs wherever the first one belongs. Ah, yes, I understand that. The subject and a predicate. Okay, so a cleaner version. One property can be one property can be proved through another property which belongs to exactly the same things. A proposition is per se when a subject and predicate belong together by definition, either by one defines the other or because both are defined through the same third thing. It adds a third. One feature can be proved through another feature that always belongs to the same thing. A proposition is per se when a subject and predicate alone. This is pretty nice. Did it use this one? No. I want this one. Per se still needs the thing. Besides. Where'd per se go? There you are. My phone go off? Get out of here. Alright, moving on. Oh. 2. The paragraph can carry a little more weight without getting bloated. Try this. Many minds can receive intellectual light. Many participation intellects can receive and pass it on. But above them all is one agent intellect that only gives light and never receives it. It is not just one more mind among many, but the highest source of illumination in the whole chain. Pico then links this purely illuminating intellect to what Kabbalah calls Metatron. Is that like the sun? The sun is Metatron? And it's just like a monk that's fully ascended. I don't know, I'm bullshitting. In case you haven't picked that up by now, I have no idea. This sounds cool though. Metatron. Can't forget the bold Metatron. Can't forget that. Metatron's gotta be bold. So does Kabbalah, actually. So does Kabbalah. Infamistus. Oh wait, was I not doing these, or am I doing these? No, we're totally doing them. And it's missing these. Ah. I'll just have to tell it to do that on when we're doing the last pass. Just check for nouns. Can't forget to tell it to check for nouns. Alright, where we're at, we're just moving on, right? This is good now. Moving on, we're into the Platonists, which should copy-paste fairly easily. Mostly straightforward, very logical thinkers. B. Plotinus. covers the section well. Three could use form firmer. Give me Platonist. What does Google say? I meant to give this in it. See how far we are from halfway? Pythagoreans, Chiladins, Mercury, Hebrew Kabbalist, halfway point. Okay. So we're still a decent way away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4? No, 5 for sure. I didn't do this one. 6. 7. This is 8. 8 away from halfway. I'm excited to see it. I really am. I gotta think of a cover for it. I think I'm just gonna... I wish that there was a good cover on the original picture. But the cover for the original book sucks. It was fucking faded and old and you can't even see anything on it. Big whack. Alright, I'm checking whether... I gotta do this for you every time. Alright, who is Adlard? Let me grab it from here. Where the fuck's Adlard? This guy. Who's this? Brought to the Latin West. Dream interpretation. Is that who it was? Yep, Adlam Aram. Say it's probably this guy. Okay. keep them like that because that's what he said. But we'll do add a lard of bath. Thanks. The heck? What just happened? If I exit? I don't know what the number is. It says I already missed one. Weird. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck just happened. Let me back up. Yeah, what I want. Not all that, but whatever. I'll fix it here. There we go. I'm in chat. Oh. I'll just let you sweat on it. You tell me what's wrong. Older or less clear? Philadelphia. Okay. Thanks for stopping. I appreciate it. Bots are welcome. Chats do help. It counts them. I agree, it's probably better than this. Porphyry of Tyre was a Neoplatonic philosopher and student of Plotinus. Pico cites him here for positions on causation, the world, soul, astral intellects, demons, and divine presence. Porphyry begins by assorting kinds of cause. A father produces the whole from itself, while a maker works with a matter taken from elsewhere. That is why he says the maker of the world is a supermundane soul, and the exemplar by which it makes is the intellect of that crafting soul. He then ties souls and cosmic influence to heavenly powers. Souls sharing in the volcanic intellect are said to be sown in the moon. From that same framework, Pico draws the inferences about bodily traits, reverence toward the apostolic see, and the moon giving health when it rises. He also identifies Apollo with the solar intellect and Aeschylus with the lunar. He also divides evil demons into two kinds. Some are souls and substantial demons, while others are material and accidental. Pico then links those two kinds to Paul's language about the law of the members and the powers of darkness. He does not mean they are the same in substance. Porphyry also says the opening of the time is... Okay, I feel like this is not final. I feel like it is not final. Feel like it is not quite final due to the nephew test. I don't think he would understand this page. Send it. Improve. I know you can do it. I'm well aware you could do better than that. Good luck. Porphyry begins. Mostly at the end, I wish I said. Still too packed. You can space it out. If it's a complicated thing. Kinds of cause. A father gives rise to something from itself. A maker shapes something using matter already there. Is the intellect. The pattern it uses is the intellect of that soul. Souls and earthly life to the heavens, said to be planted in the moon. That didn't really read any better. I'll be honest. Even I'm still lost on this one. Reality comes downward in layers. At the top is God, then intellect, then soul. Then the body world. The higher something is, the less it is stuck in matter or place. Not the core metaphysical point. The core point is just that earthly life reflects higher cosmic forces. Then it's just again, it says evil works in two ways. Some evil demons are more like real spiritual. Okay. I'm positive that whatever you just put is way better. So let's just send it positive of it. As higher things shape lower things, a father brings something forth from itself, while a maker shapes something useful matter already there. Okay, this is why he says the world is made by a soul above the world, and that the pattern for making it is the intellect of that soul. He then connects earthly life to heavenly powers. Souls tied to the volcanic intellect are said to be planted in the moon. From that same idea, Pico draws the extra conclusions about bodily traits, reverence toward the apocalypse. I don't know what this is, and I wish to know, so I'm gonna go bloop bloop. What is this? What is this? The Pope. Okay, so it's towards the Pope, basically. Also says evil works in two ways. Yeah, I feel like this pass is a lot better. And then this is useless garbage. I want out. That is everywhere because he is not stuck in any place. Intellect and soul are also present without being trapped the way bodies are. The higher something is, the less it is tied down by location. Good. That one sounded good. That was solid. Just take it. Take it, move. Alright, P. So I'm gonna send this one and then go. Get to thinking. Doesn't feel too dense. It's a lot of. We're getting the weeds now. We are in the weeds now. It's all good. It can be dense. Digging down into my nose. There's no foot pads on these sunglasses. Coffee's cold. I don't need to search the web because I've been given everything. Yeah, I got it. Mostly yes. Alright. Ah. What is still soft too. Oh, it's talking about down in here. Okay. Leads a circular motion called purifications. In the middle of the world. When Plato says, okay. I feel like I was just doing this. Less perfect as they move downward at the top, intellect is most separate and complete. Lower down, soul is more tied to motion and body. Lower still, nature becomes unstable and disordered. That is why he distinguishes the speculative intellect, the practical intellect, the rational soul, and the irrational part by how separate or entangled they are. It is also why he says bodily nature exists differently at different levels. Unmoving in intellect, self-moving in soul, partially self-moving in animals, ordered from another in heaven and ordered below the moon. I feel like this part still needs. That's great, but you can break it down, dude. It's fine. If there's more words to be said, say them. Exist differently at different levels. This is great so far. This seems to need more flushing out. Alright. The visible world is only one lower part of a much bigger order, which is why the maker of the sensible world is said to be only seventh in the intellectual hierarchy. This could use more explanation to it seems. Same pattern explains the rest of the section. There is not just one word, but a lower, middle, and upper word. Cut. There is not just one word. There is not one world, but a lower, middle, and upper world. The elements are present even in the heavenly bodies, but they're in a higher and more ordered way. The stars are not evil in themselves because higher things do not harm by their own nature. Even floods and fires are not just blind destruction. When understood by their final cause, they can be called purifications because they clear, reorder, or cleanse rather than merely ruin. This is soul in the middle of the world. It does not mean it sits in a physical center. He means the unparticipated soul stands in the middle because it is equally present to all things without being tied down to any one of them. When the soul becomes very like intellect, even its vehicle takes on circular motion because circular motion represents a more perfect and self-contained order than wandering or broken motion. visible in a larger hierarchy. Higher things are ordered and purifying rather than harmful. Alright. Yeah. I gave you the instructions. Don't gotta think that much. Copy. Wah. Ha wah. Here is the Titan version. Lower down, soul is more tied to motion and body. Lower still, nature becomes unstable and disordered. Like talking about quantum mechanics. That's fine. Right here, quantum mechanics. I almost want to put quantum mechanics question mark right afterwards. This is why he distinguishes the speculative. I almost want to pull that out. Hold on. This is worth a little tangent. This is worth the tangent. Where'd it go? Let's press move downward at the top. Lower down, soul is tied to body motion. Lower still. Is this referring to quantum mechanics? Real small shits. And then it doesn't work the same. Because it's a different layer of reality. Yeah, I know. He wasn't thinking about that. Yeah, metaphysical is the background of physical. Duh. Where is the back breakdown of what he meant? Yeah, I get it. I understand he couldn't have been talking about that. I was asking if it may be the same idea. A precursor to the thought. That doesn't really say what I want either. If is, what do you call it? Unstable nature. Is being described is the cause of quantum mechanics functioning differently. Yeah, I get that. That's usually where you find the most answers, is when they're going in the opposite directions. This guy, top down. Instability is a defect. Reality starts perfect at the top and leaks or blurs as it moves down. Matter is disorder because it's the furthest point from the perfect blueprint. Quantum randomness would be seen as a failure of the material world to hold a steady perfect form. Bottom up, modern science sees this instability as the fundamental foundation. It isn't decay of the higher order, it's the very engine that makes the universe work. So they say it goes the other way. It's probably both. It does both. It's the precursor. I don't think it's weird. It makes sense to me, kind of, actually. Except for like if I tried to calculate it, it doesn't make any sense. I don't think I could calculate it, but I think I understand the idea that where everything's waves and none of us exist in a real sense. Kind of get it. are the physical manifestation of what we call nature's disorder. Interesting. Poetically. Alright, let's move on. The visible world is only one lower part of the much lower, which by the Mercury is said to be only seventh in the... You didn't explain this, though. Motion is orderly, but it is ordered from another. Below the moon, motion becomes mixed, unstable, and disordered. The visible world is only one lower part of a much larger order. The maker stands only seventh in the inlet, which means the world comes from a lower level of reality, not from the highest, the most perfect one directly. Hold on, I was just gonna shoot this over to the other AI. Since the creator is a lower level intellect, it acts as a filter. But we could probably think up to the seventh is what this is implying. You could probably go to at least the sixth. Is it the universe is a translation of a translation of a translation? That was a fun little ride. Yeah. But but where did 7 come from? Who says? I've never heard of it. Just hit him with the I've never heard of it. Who are you talking about? Give me this again. Funny. Hey, that's pretty funny. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm coming down here and I'm grabbing this shit. Because I want this shit. And I'm gonna go to the visible world. No. What it means is this. Which I don't like that at all anyways. Maybe it just thinks. I don't see that shit at all. Here. Not from me. Oh, okay, so that's coming from the other guy. The blurb should not act like the source of the 7 is obvious if it's not explained in the thesis itself. So this is a claim that I might have battled him for. I've been like, where the fuck did you get 7? Show your math. And he's like, because he actually knew the math because he understands the numbers. He knows Kabbalah. He probably would show me the math. But I wish he wrote it down. I wish he wrote it down. Give me the math. What do you mean? What do you mean? Just you can't just spit that shit out. What do you mean? Show the math. I guarantee this comes from Kabbalah. Hold on. What section is this? Who is this? Neoplat. He doesn't know Kabbalah. So where the fuck did they get 7? Not pretend to prove where the number came from. Alright. It means the maker of the physical world is not the highest level of reality. Well, below the top, inside a large order of intellectual ranks. So the visible world is being treated as something produced further down the chain, not directly from the first and highest principle. So for the review, I would avoid sounding like we know more than the section tells us. In this section, only one lower part of a much larger order. In this section, the maker of the sensible world is placed 7th in the intellectual hierarchy. The point is that the world we see is not made at the highest level of reality but lower down, where things are already more divided and less perfect. A useful rule for the rest of the project is when a conclusion gives a rank, number, or placement. Sounds good to me. But I would like to know where he got that 7. Which one is it? Let me pull that rule. Which one is it? From the thesis. So yeah, but which one? This one. Where the fuck does this come from? Let's see if Google will give me a straight answer. Position of the demiurge, creator of the physical world. While earlier philosophers like Plotinus had a relatively simple structure, the one, intellect, soul, believed that reality was far more layered. Used mathematical Pythagorean logic to determine that there must be 7 distinct steps or ranks of intellect before you reach the one that actually builds our material world. He derived it through a specific triadic logic, groups of 3, that he applied to the realm of the intellect. Didn't just pick a lucky number, he derived it through a specific triadic logic, groups of 3, that he applied to the realm of the intellect. These are the highest forms of being. They are pure and completely separate from our world. They are the objects of thought. These are the levels where thinking actually happens. They bridge the gap between pure being and the act of creation. How can a perfect God create an imperfect world? The God that created the world was not perfect, is what he's saying. It's not the God. There's a God that created the God that made this place. Governing the physical sky. Yeah, it seems like a jump just because they only knew about 7 planets though, but we know about a lot more planets now, so it doesn't work as well. I feel like this glazed what they are saying, but didn't really show your work. I still feel like this 7 was wishful thinking. As is. Yeah, I'd like to be convinced otherwise before I write more about it. Moebius, everything in the universe happens in threes. The triad, he believes a single jump from perfect God to messy world was impossible. There had to be a mean terms, middleman, to connect them. Here's how he stacks the layers to get to 7. The divine first level, the intelligible. Before you can get to thinking, you have being. This is the intelligible triad. Limit, the Father, beginning, unlimited, the power, potential. So limit meaning unlimited, meaning the mixed. Oh, and the mixed. So there's the limited, the unlimited, and then the being between the limited and unlimited. So being moves towards thinking. And so procession, multiplicity, where things start to separate, circularity, the mind turning back to look at itself. Can you try to pack this into one big paragraph to explain the roots? So a 14-year-old would hear and reasonably build to the same conclusion. I'm trying to get a nice paragraph to bring back to the other one and be like, hey, maybe explain it with this. I'll see. Oh yeah, I want to hear its explanation. I don't think this is what I want, but I'm trying to connect a high voltage power plant directly to a tiny smartphone. If you did that, the phone would instantly explode. Transfer, step the power down layer by layer until it's weak enough for the phone to handle. As that infinite power plant in our world is the fragile smartphone, we believe reality works in triads because the smallest stable structure, middle movement, and result. You stack two of these divine transformers on top of each other to safely lower the energy from pure perfection down to thinking. The very next step to the ladder is the first level, where the power is finally low enough to actually touch dirty physical matter and start building the stars and Earth. I didn't really wanna now emoji. I wanted to take a summary back with me to a different AI chat. or something else related. I wanted it to be elaborate and detailed. But not overly worded or uncomfortably copied. What the fuck was this word? It wasn't ordered. I really want an analogy. I wanted to take a summary back with me to a different act or something else. I wanted it to be elaborate and detailed, but not overly wordy. The indivisible and the divisible can't touch without intermediate layers. He organized these layers using triads. As the structured idea of reality. To reach the physical world, the divine energy must pass through two complete intellectual triads before hitting the specific maker. This is the highest level of being. It consists of the Father, stability, power, potential, and intellect actualization. This level is purely internal to the divine and has no outward expression. And then the intellect reaches out and makes a being that makes a world for thought to happen. So it's a Sims. We're Sims 10. We're Sims 10. I've been saying that, brother. I've been saying that since like Sims 2 came out on the PS2. I was like, I think I'm playing a game in a game. This is definitely Sims 2. But, sorry, Sims, what did I say, 11? Sims 11. And once again, I say this every time I bring this up. Sims 12 devs, I would like to have the HUD back. Bring back the HUD. I think that's a vital part of the gameplay mechanic. I am very bad at watching my stats because I have to feel them. And I mostly ignore my body. And so it would be nice to have the HUD back. That would be nice. Let's can anybody else, if you see this in the video, comment, bring the HUD back. Thank you. Let's start a petition. Okay, but I get what he's saying now, actually, though. Because you can't have infinite and not infinite. You have to have the middle. So that's the lowest amount of things that you can have to have infinite and not infinite touch. And in the non-infinite, it explores to find knowledge, information. The middle layer acts as the bridge. It translates pure being into life. It consists of the procession, moving out, multiplicity, the beginning of many ideas, and circularity, the mind returning to itself. Having completed 2 full cycles of 3, the next logical step is the 7th rank as the demiurge in mathematics is the virgin number because it is not born of any number within the first 10, nor does it produce any This makes it the perfect for a boundary god, someone high enough to be purely intellectual, yet low enough to command the irrational and unstable nature. I'm in. I did a little research and come back with this info. How do you feel about it? I don't mind extending to fully flush out everything being said. I don't want unnecessary language or anything. I just think that is a big question being glazed over as a statement. I don't fucking know, dude. Unnecessary. I don't think that's right either. Yeah, but I got it.